Nicholas was a wealthy banker who was busy with his daily work when his secretary, Maria, informed him about a man named Seymour Butts who wanted to meet with him. Curious, Nicholas told Maria to set up a meeting with Mr. Butts at the City Club. When they met at the club, Nicholas was surprised to find that Seymour Butts was actually his brother, Conrad. Conrad greeted Nicholas with a birthday wish, and the two of them caught up. Nicholas confided in Conrad about his divorce from his ex-wife, Elizabeth. He then asked Conrad why he had returned to California, and Conrad handed him a gift, a membership to a company called Consumer Recreation Services, CRS. Conrad insisted Nicholas give it a try, promising that it would be an exciting and profound experience. Later, Nicholas went to the CRS company and met a man named Jim Feingold, who explained that the card was from Conrad, a longtime connection to the London branch of CRS. Jim told Nicholas that by filling out forms and undergoing a few tests, he'd be able to experience the game CRS was offering. Jim referred to it as a fun and immersive experience and encouraged Nicholas to give it a shot. Nicholas, intrigued but skeptical, filled out the forms. They included strange questions about his personal interests, along with some physical tests. As he took the tests, Nicholas began to put aside his work. Meanwhile, Jim explained that the tests were linked to an insurance company, implying that they were necessary to validate the game's existence. At one point, while discussing his finances with his colleague Ted, Nicholas became frustrated when he got a call from CRS regarding his application. It seemed that CRS was constantly in his life, and he became increasingly suspicious of the company. He left a message for Conrad, expressing confusion over what was happening with CRS, but his schedule made it hard to focus on the situation. One day, Nicholas saw a Joker statue outside his car, and curious, took it home. To his surprise, he found a key hidden inside the Joker's mouth. When he investigated further, a voice from a TV show revealed that Nicholas had received the first key to the game and that others would follow. The voice also hinted that a tiny camera was always watching him, adding an unsettling layer to the situation. Nicholas quickly destroyed the statue's face, hoping to find the camera, which he did, much to his shock. Soon after, a strange newsman spoke to Nicholas and provided him with a code: cold, colder, warm, warmer, which was an emergency signal for CRS. Nicholas, puzzled by everything, tried to make sense of the game, but couldn't escape the feeling that someone or something was always monitoring his every move. Later, Nicholas had an encounter with a waitress named Christine, who mistakenly thought he was asking about CRS. She became upset, but the tension escalated when a man suddenly collapsed and turned blue. Nicholas quickly stopped the police from helping, realizing that this was all part of CRS's plan. After a chaotic chase involving the police, and even a run-in with dogs, they escaped by jumping into a garbage dump. At home, Nicholas tried to make sense of it all. He later got a call from Maria, who told him about a meeting with Allison regarding the Bear Grant. She also mentioned that Nicholas's American Express card was at Hotel Nico. When he went to the hotel, he found the room in complete disarray, photos and evidence suggesting he had spent the night there with a woman he couldn't remember. Terrified, Nicholas quickly left the hotel. Driving away, Nicholas grew paranoid, believing someone was following him. He confronted the man only to discover that the man was a private investigator hired to keep an eye on him. Nicholas then confronted a group of powerful executives, accusing them of trying to ruin his reputation with bad publicity. He demanded that they meet his attorney, Sutherland, to resolve the situation. Sutherland later provided some crucial information about CRS. Nicholas asked Maria to investigate a taxi driver who had transported Christine the previous night. Maria found that the taxi company was United Taxi, and Nicholas started to dig deeper into this web of mystery. One night, Nicholas received a disturbing note, and as he searched his house, he found a gun and prepared for the worst. At that moment, Conrad arrived, looking tense. He revealed that he had tried to stop CRS and had already paid all the bills to make the game go away, but they wouldn't stop chasing him. Conrad was visibly upset, and he seemed to believe that Nicholas had also gotten involved with CRS, accusing him of jealousy. In an emotional outburst, Conrad ran off, and Nicholas was left alone, trying to make sense of everything. Nicholas got into a taxi, but as soon as he realized the taxi was somehow linked to the game, he tried to offer the driver more money to get away. The driver, however, ignored his plea and left Nicholas stranded. After a tense struggle, Nicholas barely survived being thrown into a river. Later, a detective told Nicholas and Sam that CRS wasn't even registered as a company, and they couldn't find any trace of it. The detective also revealed that they hadn't found the taxi in the river or made any progress on Conrad's whereabouts. Nicholas grew even more frustrated and desperate. He asked Maria about his father, and she explained that no one really knew what had happened with him after he took his own life. This made Nicholas reflect on the trauma his father's suicide had left on him as a child. Nicholas eventually tracked down an address linked to Christine through United Taxi. When he confronted her, he found that the picture he had seen earlier wasn't hers, and the situation took another bizarre turn. She went to get aspirin for him, and Nicholas noticed her fridge was empty. In their conversation, he realized she was part of CRS, and she warned him that CRS could track him down easily now that they had his psyche and handwriting samples. Christine revealed the shocking truth. CRS was manipulating him from the start, and Conrad had intentionally dragged him into it to save himself. She also explained that Feingold, one of CRS's key players, had been hacking into Citibank accounts for years, and all of Nicholas's money had been transferred into their accounts. Now CRS was after Nicholas's life to erase the evidence. In an attempt to fight back, Nicholas called Sam to ask him to contact the police. But when Sam called back, he revealed that Nicholas's money was safe, and he was also involved with CRS. Nicholas began to lose his grip on reality, as it seemed like no one he trusted was really on his side. At his lowest point, Nicholas learned that Conrad had suffered a nervous breakdown. In an effort to confront the people behind all of this, Nicholas borrowed a car from his ex-wife Elizabeth and went to a zoo where he found Jim Feingold, now working with children. Nicholas threatened Jim, but Feingold seemed unfazed, revealing that everything about CRS was just a game. Desperate, Nicholas turned to Christine again for answers. She tried to convince him that everything was part of a game, and no one was trying to kill anyone. But Nicholas couldn't trust her, and in a tragic turn of events, he accidentally shot Conrad. As Nicholas tried to escape, he jumped from a building, but CRS saved him at the last moment. To his relief, he saw Conrad alive, and they shared an emotional moment where Conrad once again wished Nicholas a happy birthday. However, the game was far from over, and Nicholas was left to wonder what would happen next.